in Neu-Berlin, man nennt es Haus Abendrot. Es war der Ruin vieler guter Jungs, von mir, mein Gott, litt ich Not.
Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Mose Bros here again. I got my brother Alberto and Carlo here. I'm Toro, and tonight we're gonna do Wolfenstein. We just played Doom, and we all liked it, so we figured why not do Wolfenstein, another classic shooter. So here we go.
Hey, how you doing?
So I think we're gonna start with we're trying to do a new system, the Greg system, graphics, replayability, immersion, gameplay, and story. So rather than just, willy-nilly trying to say whatever we like about it, we're going to start with an actual system this time. So we're going to start with gameplay. So Alberto, I don't know if you want to take it away. You can have at it.
Okay, Wolfenstein, we're going to stick to just the new order, right? We're not going to worry about the old blood.
Right. I never played the old blood. So, I mean, you and Carlo did, I think. So if you guys want to, you can talk about it.
No, that's fine. We'll stick to the new order. There's plenty of ground to cover there. Gameplay. The game is fun. It's a very, very fun game. You know, I wrote a very simple Steam review on it. It said it looks just like the trailer. You should play it. And that's exactly what it feels like. If you watch any trailer for it, it's fast, it's kinetic, it's loud, and it looks and it sounds fantastic. You know, and that's the experience the entire way through. You know, I'll confess I love this game, and it was just a pleasure to play from start to finish. What do you think, Carlo?
I agree. It was very violent also, which is kind of become a trademark of id Software, so that didn't surprise me. But they did up the end, and they have the last couple of games. And, yeah, so I agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, you just touched on that violence. That game, maybe I've been playing too many RPGs lately or strategy games. I mean, I played in Grand Theft Auto, but it brought back a certain, feel of first-person shooter that I personally feel like we missed for almost half a decade there. From almost the mid-2000s until now, maybe even more. That very quick, very fast, unabashedly violent first-person shooter.
Yeah, I like what you're saying.
It's what it is. It's video games. It's a new medium. This is ours, not for kids. Let's go in there and let's mess things up. I love that about it.
Yeah, I remember when I was playing it, I made it a point to just, instead of sneaking around the corners, and you get that cover system that you can use, but I never did. I always dual wielded, and I always ran through and just shot as much as I could. I used up all my ammo for all my guns all the time. I didn't try and save grenades. I didn't try and save anything. It just felt like, the faster you were moving, the more it pushed you, and the better it was. It was more fun when you were shooting like that. You're talking about that like gory aspect. It wasn't just like everything's disgusting, soldier of fortune kind of thing. It was like a subtle gore. It's like, if you shot a guy in the side of the AK-47 or whatever, he would have like his ribs showing, like a little chunk blown out. It wasn't like he would just be bleeding crazy. It would be like that dark red, kind of realistic.
Right.
Subtle though.
It almost felt like they were purposely trying to appeal to gamers of our generation well with that very straightforward first person shooter, because people that did not experience that just flat out will not understand the appeal of the game.
Yeah.
Well,
And I like that too, because
not to a degree. I mean, I think people born in the 70s and 80s that have a better taste for the evolution of video games than basically anybody else. I mean, you're right. We grew up with it. In particular, our generation, we grew up with it. But back to that game, I just want to say, as far as gameplay is concerned, let's just put it out there. It feels just like old Doom, right?
Right.
It feels like Doom 1 and Doom 2.
You have to pick up the armor pieces, the little medical kits, like busted boxes and stuff.
Ever since Halo Combat Evolved came out, we've all been obsessed with recharging our shields, and progressively have just gotten away from the idea that you have to be conservative about the way you conduct yourself. You can't just run every firefight and either die and go back to the checkpoint 15 seconds ago, or just recharge your shields. This game did away with all that, man. The checkpoints, they're good, but they're not too common where it's a joke to even get killed. At the same time, you gotta manage that, man. You gotta look for health pieces, armor shards. I dig for those things. I look every single room, comb them up and down.
Oh yeah,
every single...
you have to prepare because at any given moment it could be one of those big tank guys. It's like you don't want to show up to one of those guys unprepared, and then like even on top of that, the health didn't recharge, so you always had to look for it, and I don't know, it just even like the stealth sections, like a lot of games nowadays, if you fail the stealth section, you just die and you have to start over or whatever. You can do whatever you want in these stealth sections. You
Oh
can,
yeah.
slice somebody up, slice the throat, kill all the cops or whatever, the officers or whatever. Or you can just go in guns a-blazing and hope for the best. I mean, it's not recommended, but you
But
don't
I
have
mean,
to.
but that adds to the value of the game. It's not open world per se. It's just not. It's a very linear
No,
shooter,
yeah.
right? But every single moment of that game has more than one route around it. In that straightforwardness of it, in that direction of that game, there's still every single corridor you go to, every single area, every single challenge. I'm sure you remember this. There's a crawl space to over the door. There's a way to hack the door. There's a way to blow up the tank and blow. But then again, it goes back to the old school. That isn't everything's open world now, right? Back then those were like the games that gave you like more options, right? It was still very linear, but you got to do this, you got to do that, kind of like like Deus Ex, right? That was how I was.
Yeah.
So formatted linear challenges, but a million different ways to tackle them. This one is not quite deep, not quite that deep, but like you said, you don't have to stick to stealth. It's not you don't lose. You lose. I mean, there was a million times when I was playing that. Where I was trying to sneak around, shank these guys. You know what happened, dude? Like you messed it up, and they just jump on you, and then you just have to fight through it.
And it felt good because you could. It wasn't like, oh, you failed. They discovered you. Like, all right, good. Well, let me fight through it. Give me that option.
No, right. And by the same token, when your alarm went off, it wasn't just unlimited reinforcements. You can still kill every single guy and continue barely on your way, which you typically did because it was just so damn satisfying.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Carl?
I said I like the analogy you made Deus Ex. That's the way it was. And with that, I guess now we can go into the more modern aspects of the game.
Just 2 more points I want to make on the gameplay was, number one, the guns just feel really powerful. There wasn't a gun where I was like, oh, even the pistol, when it got that little, automatic or whatever, it felt pretty good. Everything felt like I kicked to it. Like you said, it was kinetic. At no point was it weird
And
just,
even
soft guns.
And even with the knife or even the pistol with the silencer on it, still felt good.
Yeah.
I love that gun. I use that gun forever.
Yeah.
It's just and there's so many games that have some lousy number one on the keyboard sidearm that just sucks, right? Like you use it to get the next gun and that's it. This gun was great. I used it to the last level, popping the guys off in the head. It was just perfect. That little silence pistol. I love that. That's always a mark of a good FPS. But even like the gun you get at the very beginning of the game, it still has great utility all the way up to the last level.
Relevance throughout the whole game.
Right.
One thing that surprised me about the game was the way they integrated a skill system. It wasn't like, oh, let's go, go through these skill trees or whatever. It was the way you naturally played, unlocked new skills and stuff like that. And I thought that was really cool.
It was kind of like the perk system in Call of Duty, except that I liked it more because it was more because it wasn't because we're playing a single player campaign versus being strictly for multiplayer. They felt like they actually had weight to them.
Yeah. Which
I appreciated.
Okay, well, hey, real quick, before we get out of gameplay, we gotta at least find one or two detractions about the gameplay because it's not a perfect game by any means, right? So I'm sure you have what you look at something in your mind. What one issue you have with gameplay?
Well, honestly, to me, it wasn't the gameplay. It was more other things in the game than it was the gameplay. And, I never felt it was repetitive. The enemies were always new, and I felt they were challenging. But the shortfalls weren't in the gunplay. It wasn't in the secret parts of the level, and I honestly think it had really solid gameplay. I think that was the best part of the game, and I have a hard time finding something that was wrong with the gameplay specifically, except for the really slow scenes in between where you were in the stupid little hideout or whatever. But honestly, I blame that more on the story than I do on the gameplay itself.
But I agree with you for the most part, except for one thing. It's like it doesn't have very good hit detection. Like if you're being shot at, you get hit. It's difficult because the character doesn't own or groan or anything. That's number one, so you can't necessarily tell when you're being hit. You just get like a little red flash on your screen that sort of points the direction of where you're being shot from. But
Right.
even when you're looking in the direction that you're being shot from, it can still be hard to detect the enemy. So that's my biggest gripe with it. But
Yeah.
other than that, I have no problem.
That's similar to mine. You know, I had it was similar to that. You know, the hit detection was kind of weird. There was times when I felt when I was behind cover, I would still get hit, and more beyond that, for some reason, the long game just didn't feel good to me. You know, like sniping people far away.
Yeah, I
There
agree.
was an oddity to it. I can't put my finger on it. It felt outdated, and I mean, there's a lot of qualities about that game that we just highlighted that make it good because it's older. But I don't know, a lot of new games now just feels. I mean, we've all been to the gun range. It just feels more natural when you're shooting people or anything from a long range. This game didn't feel that way. This game felt very much like pre-Unreal Tournament. You know, very just with like you're just moving the mouse or whatever, and it's just very stiff. I didn't enjoy that. And yeah, the hit detection. But I mean, these are really splitting hairs. The game's great. The gameplay is absolutely the best part of the game, and
Yeah.
it's just fun. I mean, it's like the best combination you can think of Halo and Call of Duty. You know, it's like and Doom. It's fast. You know, you
You
have
get
all
all
the
10
resources you
weapons
need.
at all times.
You know, you have all the weapons you need, and you have a great, fast, kinetic, hard-ass time of doing it. I love it.
Okay. Yeah, I think we all agree the gameplay is, stellar. But so I guess the R is replayability.
Mein kleiner Lieb.
And there's only one way to go about that. You get a choice early in the game, and you get two different, sides. I chose the young guy. What was his name? Props Wyatt or whatever.
Private
Yeah.
Wyatt.
It didn't seem
It's a
anything
weird
special. Yeah, props Wyatt. But
Yeah.
whatever. I didn't play as the other guy because I didn't feel like there was any replayability. I tried once, but I was like, I already played this game.
Right.
So how about you guys? Who did you choose?
I actually chose to save Fergus, and it kind of felt almost like a cosmetic choice to me
Yeah.
because largely the game plays exactly the same except for who saves. Like outside of who saves, everything else seems like it's exactly the same. So I didn't feel that merited a whole nother playthrough.
No, not at all.
So as far as playability, it's not there, but game's fun.
Right.
Yeah, I feel basically the same way. I beat the main campaign. Then I played the old blood, and they were both great. I have honestly just no desire to go do them again, especially after hearing what you said about Fergus. You know, I chose I forgot what his name was, Private Wyatt, and I wondered a little bit, but I think it's limited to what you said is cosmetic, changes like different perks or something later throughout the game. I don't think it changes the story at all. So beyond that, I mean, the story is good. It's definitely not watchable twice, I don't think. Did that game even have a multiplayer component? I didn't play it.
I don't think so.
I
Yeah?
don't think it did.
But again, referencing back to the gameplay, just because the gameplay is so good, though, I probably will play one of those games again. Probably the old blood, just because it's faster, and or just like drop in and get my fix on it. But no, definitely not a game you're gonna play 2 or 3 playthroughs in a row or anything like that.
Let's just move on to the immersion part. ERI, immersion.
Yeah.
The game, that was pretty immersive. Not regarding the story. The story took you. I felt like the story took me out of the immersion a lot. That there was a lot of loopholes in the plot, but we'll discuss that later. But besides the crazy freaking loopholes in the plot, it was pretty immersive. Like little newspaper clippings and especially the posters, the Nazi posters. I wish I knew German because some of them actually looked really cool, like the ones going to the moon and all that stuff. So most of it was immersive, except for some silly things like the spindly torque. He refers to it. Oh, what do you call a spindly torque or whatever? No, that's not what I call it. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. So it was immersive. I thought it was, but there was some really immersion breaking parts. Like when you start, he's been in a vegetative coma for 20 years and he wakes up and he's bigger than Arnold Schwarzenegger. but yeah, you guys take it away. That's how I felt.
I don't mind him being huge because he's BJ Blazkowicz, man. Come on, it's not like he's hitting the Olympic weights at the barracks every day in World War II anyway. People weren't even that big back then. He's just BJ Blazkowicz. He's just more violent Captain America. So he can be in a coma for 30 years. He's gonna be 100 years old. He's gonna look like that. That's just the way he looks.
I don't know, but it was when you wake up, you would expect it to have like at least like a half-hour sequence where you're like all groggy and like weird, but Nazis, and he starts like stabbing Nazis and whatnot.
But that's the wonderful part of that scene is that he is groggy. If you think about it, he's groggy as hell. He just happens to be killing Nazis.
He just hates Nazis.
He just hates Nazis, killing Nazis. He wakes up, he sees all this horrible shit. Then he gets up, and then it's just he's groggy. It's hard. He's got he finds that little shotgun and just blasts everybody. That's it's just BJ Blazkowicz. It's like the Marine in Doom. You don't care how long he's been passed out. He's still the Marine in Doom.
I agree with you as far as being big. It doesn't make any sense. But then again, old school shooters never did. And number two, I got right into it. Like as soon as it told you press X to stab, you hit it, got that scene.
Because he's a Nazi. Of course you're going to stab him.
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
Well, I think the game just has that comic book quality to it.
Yeah.
In your face, it's boom, it's big, it's loud, you're right. He should have atrophied a little bit, but I don't think
it didn't really matter in the end. But you still thought it. I think everyone that played the game at that first scene, they think for a second that guy's really jacked for somebody that's been sitting in a bed for 20 years.
Well, that's convenient for when the Nazis invade 20 years later.
Yeah. But also, was it 20 years? Yeah, it was 20 years.
15.
Yeah, the game takes. Oh yeah, 15. It was in 1960, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's another thing I thought about too. It's like I get the story, and you're taking it over here, and it's comic book, but at the same time, it is supposed to be an effective what-if scenario, right? Like, what if the Nazis won? Dude, the stuff they accomplished in 15 years is so extravagant that I can't even believe it. Right? Like in 15 years they have cities on the moon, and a totally functional space program, and they've built the most. This isn't like 15 years from when the war was won. This is like 15 years, like from 1945, right? So it's 1960. It's not that much later.
No, they have super concrete. Okay.
Well, exactly. And then, okay. Here's the point I wanted to make. So let me just rant about this for a minute. The whole, and because this is just one of those things that's in so many games, and it just pisses me off every single time. Okay, it's no good. They do the magical technology aspect, right? Where'd you get this technology? The super concrete. Well, a magical treasure trove of Jewish technology.
Yeah.
Give me a break. Take it further, man. Like everything does that. If Star Trek could do that for 50 years, and make fake bullshit explanations for how everything works, and make them sound smart and reasonable, and in certain circumstances physically possible, then why this game can do the same thing too. There's no shortage of talent out there.
Yeah, they could have just said it 20 years later and it would have been like, oh, they just have that technology now. None of that technology was far-fetched. There wasn't really any necessity for that weird ancient technology.
Kind of far-fetched, man.
Oh, the spindly torque was stupid, alright? I didn't like the spindly torque. I thought it was...
Okay, but that's why I don't like it, because it's magic. It's a magic thing.
Yeah.
Okay, it's they throw it out there, it flies out there on its own, and okay, yeah, spoiler or whatever. It shoots these spikes everywhere and rips it, but it doesn't make any sense. In a world full of gunpowder and internal combustion engines, which this world very much still is, what is this thing? But they don't even explain it. It's in a vault in the bottom of the ocean that this guy is part of a secret society, and he gets in there, and it's like Indiana Jones. It's like it's an alien building because you see it. Like, what is this thing? What we just have to make our conclusions about this, and that like dumbs down the lore to me. Like when you just like put the chopping block down. You just stop the block right there where the lore's going. That takes me out of it. It's like we're learning. Stop. Wait, we couldn't think of anything else to say. So it's magic. It's a gold room. Shut up and move on. I hate that, man.
I want to bring up one more point on that topic, because even honestly, and thinking about this even more so, the London Monitor makes more sense than the spindly torque. It's like that is far-fetched, and even that makes more sense to me than.
That's like what Alberto was saying. You know, there's no reason why you need this fancy technology. Just set it 15 years later or whatever. See, they had a hard time deciding on how to age BJ Blazkowicz and how to make it so that he made sense. You could have frozen him or something, just Captain America to him, and made it 1975 instead of 1960, and all of that would have been believable without that stupid treasure trove.
Yep.
And you know, at the end of the game, we might as well just jump into story. At the end of the game, they steal a nuclear submarine armed with nuclear weapons so that they can shoot a spindly torque at Death's Head compound.
No! It's so stupid.
Why?
Okay. Yeah, why? Why?
Just shoot the nuke. You have a bunch of nukes. Shoot the nuke.
In a game full of all the technology in the world, all the graphics you can possibly throw at it, where you can render literally anything that you want to, why can't we ever see this stupid cannon shoot the wall of the fortress? Okay? I just always want to see shit like that. You know, load the cannon with a nuke round, that sounds awesome, surface the boat, and give me a cutscene, man. Blast the side of that fortress. Let's see what that looks like. You know, you do this thing where it's like, you run up, you load the spindly torque from the inside, you pull the trigger, and it shoots, and the thing shakes. You never really see anything. It flies up there, it spins around, and pulls everything apart. But that's not what you want, man. You want, like, the carnage that submarine that you hijacked in the previous mission is capable of. You never see that stuff.
No, I was just really disappointed. You steal a nuclear sub. You go through all lengths for heaven and hell to just have hell and high water or whatever to steal a sub, and then they use it to send one guy into the building. Shoot the nukes. You have the resources apparently.
Yeah.
Shoot the nukes. Obviously, these Nazis are bad. Obviously, Death Head is bad. No one's gonna be mad at you for it.
Okay, speaking of plot holes though, not only just shoot the nukes, they went out of their way to get the keys to shoot the nukes. Remember? It was
They went
like,
to the moon.
The whole reason they went to the moon in the first place. So you go to the moon to get keys to shoot nukes, and then you come back and you get the sub to shoot nukes, and then you don't shoot nukes, you shoot the stupid spindly thing. I hate that thing so much. You know, I'm sure there's a word out there in the literary world for some nonsensical plot device that is inserted into the game that serves no purpose, doesn't even fit in the universe. It's just a vehicle to conveniently move the plot along, to conveniently get it out of the submarine and it's
the phrase for that you're looking for is called Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah. Let's just add that. And speaking of plot holes, you know, the whole idea that their resistance headquarters is in the middle of Berlin or wherever the city that was, and has 70 cameras going there, but the Nazis can't figure out, the smart Nazis that have a moon base can't figure out why this car is empty at that one spot every time.
Yeah.
It's just empty every like I get it that they're resistance and they're under their noses right there and everything, but like, you know, this game obviously tried to be Inglourious Bastards to some degree, and Inglourious Bastards was feasible. You know, there was just a lot of plot holes where it was just like, that's infeasible. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Not even that it's feasible. It's more like just stupid. They're just plot holes. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, just fix that. You know, Inglourious Bastards. There was a lot of goofy comic stuff in that movie too, but like you were saying, like it made sense. Like, given the environment, given the universe, given the atmosphere, things make sense. In this movie, that stupid bridge scene in particular, it's like, give me a break, man. Why can't they see them there? Just because you said they can't see them there. That's really the only reason. Okay? Because like we could see them there in the cutscene. Like any German could see them there. It pissed me off. But that's the end of that. Whenever I hit like a weird juncture where it's like, okay, like the hideout's in this crazy place and we're out here. How are they ever gonna get to it? Well, let's just do this stupid thing real quick and we'll do it. You know, just to move along. The game's full of them. Yeah. But the story is good though. I mean, the
story is good, except for, you know, when they drove from Berlin to London every once in a while. Oh, we're just gonna drive to Berlin today, or we're just gonna drive to London. You know, like
I will tell you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go.
I will tell you where they got it right though. Is saying that the Nazis launched the atom bomb was like a really cool way to like say that they won a war, because especially when that lady was, the old lady was explaining that they had captured Einstein. I thought that was pretty neat. So I thought they got it right at that point, but everything else you guys said I agree with.
Yeah, it's just like we were talking about that helped the immersion a lot, but it didn't help the story. The backstory was great, the lore was great, and everything like that. All of the lore was fantastic up until they started talking about spindly torques and Yoshidi or whatever they call them.
Yeah.
Technology from the ancient history, and then just the massive plot holes. You know, those things did break my immersion a little bit. And I get that they're trying to go for a cool comic book Inglourious Bastards thing, but they tried too hard in some points. I just couldn't. You know,
I mean, yeah, looking back into it, the story it definitely carried you along. It was a great vehicle for the game itself, but it was shallow. You're right. It was just very shallow. And it had a lot of dead ends.
Yeah.
So, last thing I want to say is, going back to the part when we're on the water, I do not care at all for that platform sequence where you had to shoot the platforms with your freaking laser to get them to open up.
Speaking of that, overall, how was the game for you, Carl? Were you able to play it well? It was like...
I played it well, mostly, except for the boss sequences were a little difficult, but I managed to get past it.
Yeah.
Because it demands that you have quick reflexes, and you absolutely need them. You're gonna survive.
Was easy mode a fun challenge for you, or was it first? Yep. Like, what? It was good.
It was fun, except for that part there that I'm telling you, and some of the bosses. But
yeah.
Well, that
for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just felt like overall it was unnecessary, because there's a game where you're blasting your way through it, and suddenly they try to turn it into a platform. Like, it didn't make any sense.
Speaking on that, I think anytime the game slowed down, i.e. the hub sequences, that stupid underwater part, the part where you jumped around the moon for 3 minutes and didn't shoot anybody, it was low gravity all of a sudden, but then you didn't do anything, you shot 2 drones and then that was it. Those parts were awful. They were just, they slowed you down and they were unnecessary.
I'm glad you mentioned them. I didn't even think about them before. But we need more than 35 minutes to really get into how much that damn moon scene pissed me off. What is even the point? What is even the point? You can't throw me one German probe? Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a perfect game. I do want to talk about the graphics for a second. We talked about it a little bit in the Superman review, which isn't up anymore, but in the Superman review, we talked about the grainy, filter that they have across the movie that kind of covers up everything. In this game, it had a really grainy filter when you were in game, but then in the cutscenes, they were obviously rendered graphics with not that grainy filter, and I'm so tired of the grainy filter. I don't like it. It just makes everything look a little fuzzy, and I don't like that. I like clean graphics. I know this is like a dirty game, and it's, oh man, I think there could have been a better filter or more of a big net look or whatever, but I don't know. Other than that, though, the graphics are great. I think they were sharp.
What you're talking about, I agree with, and it's kind of counterintuitive to the overall realistic look of the game. Kind of.
Yeah, I agree with you, Armando, totally on that. That thing, I hate that, man. The environment and the story and the immersion should make you know that it's 1960. Not the damn filter on the camera.
Yeah.
I don't like it in movies, I don't like it in comics, and I don't like it in video games. It's unnecessary. Having said that, great graphics all around.
Yeah, it's a good engine. They don't need little tricks.
No, It's a great engine. They can do whatever they want with it. I wish they had done more with it, but I mean, great game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And last thing I'm gonna say before we call it, great voice acting from Steve Bloom on part of BJ Blasco.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
that's what I was mentioning. He was a very engaging character. As shallow and silly as the story was sometimes, I still felt engaged by pure
I
virtue of this computer guy's charisma. You know, it was
Yeah.
great. Did
It
really
had, it
well.
had a lot of good writing. It really did. I did feel
yeah
like I was watching like a Quentin Tarantino thing. Loopholes and everything aside, the writing and the characters were all, on
yeah
point.
I thought they did an incredible job of humanizing him, which is great to see that. I wish they would do that with more of the older characters. And that was just great. Everybody was great.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Our final reviews. I would give it. I don't want to do another 8. Honestly, I think it was like depending on the price. Right now on Steam, if you can find it for like $10, it's a must buy. When it came out, I probably would have given it like a 7 or a 7.5, just because it's only a single player campaign for like 10 or 12 hours or whatever, and there's no replayability. I wouldn't have paid $60 for it, but 30 or less, any Steam sale you can get, absolutely buy it. But I guess I'm gonna review it because that's when I played it. I bought it for cheap, so for $10, the way I bought it, like a 9. Honestly, it was absolutely worth every penny that I spent on it.
I agree with you completely.
What number do
So
you give it?
I'd probably go with an 8.5 just because I had a slightly more difficult time with it because of the speed that it requires. But for the most part, 8.5 is my score because I agree with you.
You guys,
Everything you
I think
said.
I gotta lowball you, man. I love the game. I did. I loved it. But I'm gonna go in the 6 range. I'm gonna go with 6.8 on this one. Um, you know,
Yeah.
listen,
No, yeah, I can see it though.
I have my reasons. You know, you made a great point just now. It was a great game for $10.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yep.
it. So when that game came out, I assure you, it wasn't $10.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and a great experience for 12 hours. That's about it. You don't go back into it. The stories aren't diverged. It's more of the same thing, which is good. But there's no meaningful multiplayer. You know, I have a hard time applying that many dollars per hour when it comes to a video game. So I recommend this game to every single person that has 12 hours to spare $10 in their pocket. But beyond that, and looking at it as a full sale retail title, I think it's a little disappointing. Having said that, for $10, that was the most fun you can have for 12 hours. That was great.
Yep.
It was super awesome. It was engaging the whole way through, and everybody should probably play it just to remember what really violent FPS is like.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. When it came out, $60, wouldn't have gotten it. I think a 6.8 is accurate for that. But for $10, I was still sticking my 9. So I
I
mean,
agree.
I think that's pretty good. I mean, since we're so late to the review, I think we can rate it at both ways.
That's true. Well, hey, we should rate games as they are currently, okay? And if we're
Yeah.
gonna throw that in there, then I'll bump it up a point. All right, I'll give it a
Yeah.
7 point. Still gonna have the replayability in there.
Oh, well, we got to give Bethesda and whoever made it some props though, because I guess Bethesda made Doom. The beta made
They,
me want to talk about Wolfenstein again. So
yep.
so
Dude,
And
if all that game served was a learning experience for what's about to come out, we'll see that in a couple weeks here. But I think it'd be worth it.
yeah,
Glad I
and
bought into it.
yep. And props to Machine Games for doing a good job with that.
yeah. And I think we're all glad to see sort of a resurgence into these older style games. I was actually playing Sunset Overdrive today. It's on Xbox Live free. You should download it. Like, remember Jet Set Radio Future or like Tony Hawk or anything like that?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like the closest I've seen to any one of those games in a while. It
All right.
feels old school and stuff. It's kind of goofy. It's kind of funny actually. I've actually laughed at it a few times, but
I'll sign off. Hey,
alright.
thanks for watching. I know it's been a long one, but I think we had a lot to say. Stay tuned for the next one. This has been Most Reviews. This is Alberto, Armando, and Carlos signing off.
If
All right.
you guys like what you saw, give us a like. It really helps us out so we can make more content for you
Yeah,
guys.
give us a
Thanks.
subscribe.
That's right.
Give us a
Watch
like.
for us on Twitter. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch. And yeah, get those likes out there, man. Really helps us out. Get those videos out.
Yeah, we're gonna have more coming out. This isn't the last. We're making them pretty quickly, so at least there's new content. It'll be fresh. There's 3 of us, so we can all do something.
All right.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
See ya.
Fuck me. B.J. Blazkowicz.
Caroline, you're alive.
If you call shitting in a bag living, 3 pulverized vertebrae. You?
Head trauma, 4 inches of cast iron shrapnel right in the conch. Still in there.
Severed colon, septic shock, shattered pelvis.
Memory loss, flashbacks, 14 years in a loony bin.
Good to see you, William. Friends und Comrades, this is